If you talk to any true enterprise or mid-market company, their IT teams, their security teams are pulling their hair right now because there's just no governance around these consumerized vibe coding tools. And today with AI, it's completely upending enterprise software as we know it. This is one category, but if you go into the sales marketing category, we are seeing everything upended. And I think that people are underestimating the change that's going to be happening, not over the next 5 years, but over the next 5 months.
Welcome to the podcast, where we introduce you to incredible humans who share their journeys with the mission to inspire you to harness your own inner tenacity to drive your life and career forward. And now, your host, Adam Posner.
All right, so we're doing a little impromptu stop-and-chat. We're
On the fly.
All right, so I call this the witching hour of conferences. This ain't your first rodeo, Mike, right?
No, it's not.
Okay. First and foremost, introduce yourself. Tell everyone a little bit about Onboarded, what you guys do. What problem do you solve in the industry?
First off, thanks for popping by. Appreciate it. Love just the organic nature you popping in and giving me no prep whatsoever to go do that.
You're better with
but I'll lean into it. Exactly. So Mike Johnson, CEO, co-founder of Onboarded. We deal with that messy middle that sits between the recruiter technology and the back office HRIS. So when it comes to all the compliance stuff, all the federal, state, local obligations, integrations, background checks, you name it, we orchestrate that in an elegant way, make it easy for high volume hires to hire people.
I think it's important for everyone out there to understand your background, where you came from, and how you got here.
Been in technology for 20 years. First soiree into HR tech was at a background check company called Checkr. We were building trust and safety for the gig economy. So all the Ubers, Lyfts, DoorDashes of the world were powered by Checkr's background check product. But that is when I realized that there's more than just the contractor world. There's the W-2 world. And that is 10x more complex than just bringing on contractors. And that's what we wanted to solve for. So about 3.5 years ago, we started the company, hired a bunch of the crew from my past life, and been after it ever since.
Well, I was actually going to get to that because I remember our initial conversation. One of the pieces I loved is you brought the squad with you.
Yeah.
And as a founder, as someone building something, on a personal, like, how does that feel that they believe in you, they believe in what you're building, and they want to be part? Like, let's talk about that, the weight of that.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to build something. We wanted to go solve a big problem in the market, and we saw that opportunity to go do it. But I wanted to bring a crew together that I cared about. So these are guys and gals that I know their kids, I know their wives. We've gone on trips together. That kind of company building environment is what in the past I found to be really special. So if we're going to do anything else, we're going to bring together great people and go solve some problem. And this is the one that we were closest to and want to get after.
Absolutely love that.
So if you look over there, there's just great humans. Actually, my brother's over there. He works for us now. Matt's one of my best friends. And then we've grown now to 40 people in the last 18 months or so.
Nepotism's cool when they're good.
Yeah. I know.
Wait, so now you have your core team, and now you're building your own team. What are those values? What are those traits that you look for when you're building a team, when you're interviewing? Let's pull back the curtain a little bit on your hiring.
I'll say two big things. So there's several things that we look for. Two big things that really matter to us, back to the thing that really matters at the end of the day. We're not curing cancer. We're solving a big problem, but we're not curing cancer. The thing that matters most to me is people are optimizing for their family time and making sure that the relationships they have with their wives, their husbands, their kids, their partners is always coming number one. So we do prioritize that in a lot of ways. When we do offsites, we always are inviting the family to come on those offsites. So that's one really important thing to us. Except for Vegas. Yeah, no family in Vegas.
It's so funny. My 13-year-old daughter was like, Dad, I want to come and do to Vegas. I'm like, listen, there's other work trips. I go, this is not the one. Yeah. Daddy is not in his best shape. I can't take you everywhere. I promise you when the time comes, Dad will take you to Vegas. So let's talk a little bit about the history of onboarding and why this is so important. What was that white space? Walk us through a brief little history lesson, but why now? Where's that white space where now is the time for Onboarded?
If you look around this conference hall, every one of these products has some kind of onboarding experience. By definition, if you're a software product in the HR space, you need some kind of glide path for a worker to go through some process to be onboarded to that system. But every one of these apps are a distinct onboarding process for that specific app. Nobody's thought about the end-to-end experience for the worker and for the operators that are orchestrating all these applications. So that's the white space, is you need to be able to unify this experience for the worker operationally, to be able to automate this stuff away. And today with AI, it's completely upending enterprise software as we know it. This is one category, but if you go into the sales marketing category, we are seeing everything upended. And I think that people are underestimating the change that's going to be happening, not over the next 5 years, but over the next 5 months. It's really, really drastic. What you can accomplish with Claude and coding agents is truly unbelievable. And a year ago, you would have said, well, this vibe coding app is kind of cute. Sure, you can vibe code some apps, but the enterprise power that sits behind them that's unlocked is growing and growing every single day. So there's going to be a re-architecting of this entire ecosystem, and Onboarded's built to be that orchestration layer to help make it happen.
If you're in recruiting, you already know that sourcing eats up way more of your day than it should. That's why I use Pin. Instead of writing Boolean searches and tweaking filters, you just describe what you're looking for and who you're looking for in plain English. I could type something like software engineer at Series A startup with 0 to 1 product experience, and Pin will surface a relevant shortlist right away. No guessing, no wasted time. It turns hours of sourcing into seconds. So book a demo today and see for yourself. Visit pin.com/demo. Tell them Adam sent you.
So one of the things I've been hearing from lots of conversations, not specifically your product, but a lot of companies are saying with this vibe coding, and especially with Claude and everything, we could build this ourselves. What specific elements of the onboarding process you got to leave to the experts?
Sure. There's so many layers of it. If you talk to any true enterprise or mid-market company, their IT teams, their security teams are pulling their hair right now because there's just no governance around these consumerized vibe coding tools. So on one vein, the power behind them is really, really compelling. And the other side, you've got corporate governance, you got compliance. So at our core, we're a compliance product. We make sure that a company is following all the federal, state, local obligations, industry level obligations. You need to adhere to those. Those are not vibable. Those are discrete. It's black and white, it's left and right. It is very specific. So you need to adhere to those. But how do we enable entrepreneurs to build on top of that? There's a balance between the domain expertise and the compliance obligations and the creativity of entrepreneurship. And that's the balance that we're working with. So a lot of these companies out here are partners of ours. We're enabling them to build compliance products. And there's a lot that are not here that are entrepreneurs that are starting companies building on our platform.
Well said. So let me ask you a question. As a founder and as a builder, early on, or even now most recently, you had a hypothesis, you had a thought, and it just failed in testing and building and execution. And how did you pivot from that?
Yeah. I've been in go-to-market for a long time. So I've been asked this question before, like, what is it like to be a founder? I think the best go-to-market folks have always thought of themselves as founders. You need to be extremely entrepreneurial. You need to be able to take your lumps. You need to be able to get out there and be gregarious and be willing to evangelize on the rooftop the great stuff that your company is building. And that to me came really natural. The second piece is building. I built teams before. This was an opportunity for me to own the strategy, though, and the execution of that strategy. And if you find a crew that you trust, where you can say stupid shit to, and they'll take it, and it's all gravy at the end of it, and you can disagree and argue at times, but know you got that trust foundation, then anything's possible. So there's a bunch of stuff we've learned. It wasn't a straight line, but if you got the right crew that you can go through those lumps for and that learning with, then you're doing the right thing.
I love it. Mike, tell everyone where they can find you guys, where they can connect, where they can learn more.
Yeah, go to onboarded.com. We just launched a new website. So excited to showcase what we're actually doing, what we've been keeping secret for a long time now. So yeah, onboarded.com, reach out to us. Free trial on the website. Schedule time to talk.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thanks for the Stop-and-Chat. Appreciate it. All right, everybody, that's a wrap on Transform 2026. I am Adam Posner. This is the podcast. Big shout out to our friends over at Pin, at Fountain, and Overalls for making all this happen. I hope you enjoyed the content. I hope you learned something. Big shout out to my camera guy, Jeremy from GE Media. He's been with me for the last 10 days on and off. I think we're best friends at this point. But you guys know where to find out more over at thepodcast.com. Like, subscribe, comment. Remember, be good to yourself, be better to others, and we'll be back here in Las Vegas for Transform 2027, March. Catch you next year. Take care.
Wisdom is forever, but for us, it's time to go. Thank you for joining us. Luckily, we'll be back with our next episode soon, jam-packed with more incredible humans. Thank you for listening, subscribing, and sharing. To join the conversation, search the podcast on LinkedIn. And to catch up on past episodes and more info, please visit www.thepodcast.com.